Hey, good morning, you guys. Just getting started, going live on Facebook in just a minute. I wanted to, before we go completely live, just thank you guys for showing up as you do and helping me to create this community where we can learn together. So today, I don't have a guest. And so I was really glad to get a question on one of my groups from Catherine Ford Richter, who wanted to know a little bit more about how to increase people coming to her website. Like she's measuring the traffic to her website, and she wants more traffic. And I'm not going to go into the whole everything about search optimization. I know enough to optimize simply what you're doing. So what I'm going to do is hop onto Catherine's site and show you what I would do with her if I were coaching her at this very moment. This would be a very, very quick overview. So if you haven't checked out Catherine yet, be sure to visit her website. She is really doing a great job making a difference in people's lives. You can also find an interview with Catherine on my website and my YouTube. Just loved it. Was just about setting boundaries and really practicing self-care by the power of the no and the power of the no and of the knowing what it is that feeds you and keeps you going. So be happy, healthy, successful, CatherineFordRichter.com. She didn't pay me to do that, but here we go. So I found that her website was pretty good. She's a health coach, a mindfulness coach. She is also a nurse, tons of certifications. So the first thing that Google will look at is something like your headings, right? So be happy, healthy, successful. That could be something people are looking up. As if you have Google Analytics installed on your site and you have any way of setting up keyword tracker, and then you can kind of find out how people are coming to your site, what are they looking for? That's super helpful. If not, don't worry about it. Just spend some time journaling out what do you think people who are in pain, who need your services, or who are concerned and need your products, what do you think they're searching for? So maybe they're looking for how do I get happy? How do I get healthy? What will make me successful? The next thing is she has a secondary header here, holistic approach to restoring balance in your life. So Google gives extra weight to these headings, H1, H2, H3. And so that's going to show up really well in a search as well. Then she does another wonderful thing on her homepage where she is setting out the pain points. Each of these could be something that somebody is searching for. And so that's a really good idea too, is to put down the pain points on your homepage. And then what will be the results of working with her? And these are also, because she's saying it over and over again, right? Confidence, healthier work life, life balance, your body, put yourself first. These are things people might be searching for. So I'm going to do a quick deep dive, which is the first thing I usually do. I can look at the back end. And you guys, this is not how I spend my days. I work with an SEO, couple of SEO, search engine optimization experts, and we spend a lot of time going through clients' websites and their pages and their keywords. It is not what I do full time. It is something I want to deeply know about to be able to advise clients on a kind of a surface level. So I'm going to blow this up a little bit, and hopefully you can see this. So the first thing I'm looking at here is kind of her metas or her keywords to see what she has in here. One thing I will say, so now I'm looking at this, unless I'm looking at this incorrectly, it could be that, Catherine, you don't have Google Analytics installed yet, but maybe you're using a different kind of a dashboard where you can track your traffic. You might want to go ahead in and install Google Analytics, and it's probably easier than you think. What you have to do is Google how do I install Google Analytics? And sometimes it only takes like 5 minutes. So that's something you can do on your own, or you can hire somebody to do that. We're happy to help you with that. She has a great description here. Catherine Ford Richter is a self-care and mindset coach. Those are things people could be looking for. She's also registered nurse, yoga instructor, and then she has, again, holistic approach. I think that's a big part of what it is that she's doing. So what I do now is I do Command F or Control F if you have that. And I'm just going to look up keywords, see if she has anything installed here. There's nothing for keywords. That's okay, don't worry about that. I did say that we would look at Meta, and so we can kind of look in here. So she does have some opportunities within her descriptions. When she set up this, looks like a Squarespace, there's probably places she can put more back-end keywords in here. I work with Chantel Davis Gray, who is the Squarespace expert in my life. She can give you more information on that. Squarespace has this code that's a little bit harder for me to really make sense of. Okay. So let me go back to Catherine's website. And you guys, while I'm talking to you, might have questions. You can pop them. Let's see if I have access to my chat here. I'll take a look at the chat in a bit. And also, I'm going to be going live a couple times a month now to answer questions because I just love it. And so I want you to write this down, or you'll see it on the recording here. It's bit.ly, and it's SFO Q&A, all lowercase. I would love to get your questions. All right, so I'm going to hop back in here. So I noticed that Catherine has a blog. So I'm going to go head over to her blog and see what kind of opportunities she has for even more search yumminess. I'm saying yumminess, and then I'm looking at this photo. Is amazing. I'm going to make it bigger. So let's see what this looks like in the back end. So in naming her blog and in naming the URL for the blog, that's another opportunity to get some search engine optimization juice. So think about when you journaled out what the keywords are. So mindset coach, holistic, self-care, let's say those are the 3 we're looking at today. You can have as many as you want, but stay really focused on them. It's not everything in the world. Stay on ones you really want to rank for, and when you write blogs, you want to direct them towards those particular keywords that you think people are searching. So here she has self-care, and then she's going to talk a little bit more about it. There's a read more, and I'll head over to the read more. So here's a search. I love this one. I did look at these yesterday too. She has some really, really great content in here, you guys. And again, see these, can't really tell if she's bolding these or if they're H1, H2, H3. If they're H1, H2, H3, these are great search engine opportunities because these are things that people could be looking for that'll show up. That's one opportunity. But here's a thing that even if you don't do search optimization with keywords and it's not really something that you even want to start putting in your head, when we go through my digital marketing mastermind course, we go through this in a very easy way. I hold you in a container of support, and we take the little steps, and at the end of like the first 2 sessions that we have, you're like, oh, that's it? I can do that. So let's put that aside here and just know that it exists, and it's something you can think about if this is where you're going. But let's take a look at this blog. It is so deep, and it has so much great information, and I think it's worth showing up. So one of the things that I think is really important is that when you're writing anything, wherever it is, but particularly a blog, and a blog is so important, think about what you want people to do. Yes, you want to give the information. Of course, you want to show up as the expert. You want to show up as generous. You want to show up in your integrity. But you also want people to stick around a little. So it's very likely that somebody reads this article and they get all of this great information. Maybe they like it. I don't know many people who click this share button, this particular one. Maybe they will. More likely they'll grab the URL and share it, perhaps. But you want something measurable. So this is fantastic. I'm going to recommend to Catherine that she has some kind of call to action at the button, right? A button that says, well, even this could be it. I'd love to hear what way of eating makes you feel the best, and if this landed with you, if any of this landed with you. So that could actually be a form that now she's getting information from people about what their struggles are, and she's collecting email addresses. As you know, for me, it's always about keeping your own list, bringing people closer to you, and being able to give generously so that when it's time for them to make that leap, they're thinking of you first. And in particular, a self-care coach or a mindset coach, because nobody is buying a coach off of a website. They have to know you, and they have to already love you, and they have to trust you. So the more that you're writing articles and the more that you're providing great content, the more they will know you, like you, and trust you. So a call to action here, it could be, let me know what you think, and you're collecting their email address, and then you send a welcome email and says, thank you so much. I'll be in touch with you, but in the meantime, here's something else you might like to read. And you put them into a welcome sequence so that you're always providing more and more value to what you're doing. That's one option at this point. The other option might be something as simple as schedule a call with me. Is this something you're struggling with? Schedule a call with me. Put the button there. People need to be told what to do. They need to, and in here, it's like, what is the problem you solve? And so you want to make that clear. Here's another thing, Catherine, you're going to love this. Catherine has written a lot of articles. And so I would invite you, Catherine, to take a look at some of this content and see if there's a way that you can take a few of these words. Would that bring more joy and less stress to eating? Perhaps you've written an article. I'm not remembering all of your articles right now, but perhaps at some point you've written an article that ties into joy, less stress with eating. Click over to that blog. Put the link in there for that blog. Find 2 or 3, let's say 1 to 3 places in every single one of your blogs that can lead to somewhere else on your website. Now, this is going to be one of those rabbit holes I talk about, you guys, because if you're just getting started on this, don't get overwhelmed, because now what I'm going to say to you is, okay, let's go see what else she's written, right? So that was nutrition is self-care. Let's see what else she has. So maybe there was something in that particular article that we just read about that comes back to help you manage your energy and avoid burnout. Well, if you're going to link back to this blog now, I'm going to give you the exact same advice. Are there spaces in here where you can link back to another one of your blogs or another page on your website? And eventually, and again, have a call to action here at the bottom. This is so good. So here's it. All right. So I love doing this stuff. You guys can tell. So again, this is her call to action here, but she's not giving anybody, you're not giving anybody the link to let you know how that. And you say, so this one does say, don't forget to share this post, and that's where you can share that. I'm going to look at her other pages. We have a couple more minutes. Some of these, so if I'm going to scroll back, I hope I'm not making you guys dizzy. This is my life. So maybe in here it's how Catherine works with people. And at that point, I would link that back over, Catherine, to my story and give people a reason to come and learn more about you. And again, take a peek in here. Keep people on your website. Give them a journey. Maybe there's somewhere in here. It starts by understanding what lights you up and what you want more of in your life. Maybe there's an article that you've written about that. You're going to start doing this, and don't go down the rabbit hole. Keep a list, because you're going to just, one thing at a time is going to go page to page. You can't do it all at one time, but keep a list so that you can check things off. Checking things off feels so good. And make it so that people are having that journey through your website. Let me see if there's anything else I can say here. And take a look in here as well to see if there's any headings you can add, H1, H2, H3. Make sure that it's super easy. If somebody gets to the bottom of this page, here we go, connect with Catherine. And she has a form you can fill out, so that's nice. What I didn't see here, and I'm not sure, I know that Catherine is at a certification today, so we can talk later, is I didn't notice, let me go back to her homepage, if she's doing any list building. So this is not anything to do with search engine optimization, which was the question, but because I have my own rabbit hole issues. You can sign up to stay on her email list. So Catherine, that was at the bottom. And I got to it because I was searching for it. I guess people would. You might want to consider, if you're doing email marketing, which, I'm like all about email marketing, consider a pop-up or consider a block at the top, because in my opinion, getting people on your list is by far the number one goal for you, to be able to bring people closer to you, have a way to reach them. If the websites were gone, if social media were gone, you would still have that list, would be your gold. And the other thing, and maybe we've already talked about this, Catherine, but just for the sake of this conversation, consider creating some kind of a lead generator. That would be a video, a helpful video, a downloadable ebook, or 10 tips to something, or something of value that people will receive in return for giving you their valuable email address. And again, I'm going to go back to that sequence. So then you send them that, oh, thanks so much for getting on my email list. Here's your resources, and I hope you really enjoy it. Next week, I'm going to be sending you something else about this other wonderful information that I have. So step by step, you're bringing people closer. You're showing up in integrity. You're showing up in love and generosity, and eventually people will come to where you are and understand you're the one they want to work with, or you know what? You're not the one they want to work with, and that's okay too. I'm going to head over and see. Oh, this, you guys, all right, I'll come back to that. Let's see where I can find, I wanted to find, here we go. Hey, Shauna's here. All right, I don't see any other questions in here, so I'm going to start to wrap this up. I wanted to just again tell you that you can submit your questions. Let's see, sorry guys, this is my life, a million, right? bit.ly, SFO, Q&A, all lowercase. This is the form that it will bring you to, your email address, type your question, and just give me some more details. I will answer your questions as fully as I did with Catherine's here today, if I know the answer. If I don't, I'll tell you, sorry, I just don't know. I want to invite you to the tutorial that Beth Knaus and I will be running next Wednesday morning, August 21st. We're starting at 9:30 in the morning. It's a 1-hour webinar. It is packed, Phil. I was going through my slides again last night. I'm like, wow, this is so good. I wish I had known this 10 years ago when I just got started. with my business in the Women's Business Network of Southeastern Massachusetts. It's everything you really need to know to get started. There's a downloadable workbook with templates where I'll be giving you lots of tips and hacks and ideas. You receive the recording, so if you can't come next Wednesday at 9:30, don't worry, we're going to send you the recording and the workbook. And then the special offer at the end, which I'll tell you now, is you're going to get a half-hour coaching with Beth to help you put together your first email, and you're going to get a half an hour with me to help you set up your templates or any of your other questions to get started. So if you've been wondering about email marketing, and I'm telling you, like, it's already starting. Energy is shifting. You got it, like, it's going to happen, you guys, and you want to be ready to catch that wave. You can find that link. It's bit.ly / now it's capital S, capital F, capital O, 82119. I'll put that in the comments as well. And just wanted to leave that here in case. Oh, so it's only $79, which I'm like, that's a really good price, you guys. I hope you'll take advantage of it because I think it'll make a big difference. One client for 1 hour or 2 hours, I think it'll make a big difference. All right, I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to smile pretty, and I'm going to say, you guys, thanks for showing up. Next week, I've got another interview. Wait till you see. I have Rebecca Moore of In a Nutshell Consulting, and we're going to, geek out about more marketing stuff. That's it. If you have any questions, let me know. It's great to be here. Have a great Thursday.